Welcome to our video series on spiritual disciplines, and in this video we'll be talking a little bit about secrecy. My name is Tony Millette, one of the ministers here at the Hampton Roads Church, and you might be wondering, what is a spiritual discipline? In John Ortberg's book, The Life You've Always Wanted, he describes a spiritual discipline as any activity that helps us to live out the life that Jesus has called us to live, or any activity that helps and promotes spiritual growth in a particular area of being like Jesus. But it's important that we don't confuse the discipline with the area of growth. So let's just say, for instance, we wanted to grow in the area of love, right? God says, love the Lord your God with all of your heart, with all of your soul, with all of your mind, and with all of your strength. And so the discipline would not be to love more, right? The discipline might be, to choose from a range of disciplines, might be simply simplicity. And check out the video that I did on simplicity. But practicing simplicity could help us to grow in this particular area of loving God and loving the people around us. So we don't want to confuse the two. Now, when we're talking about secrecy, the Bible says in 1 Peter 5, humble yourselves, therefore, under God's mighty hand, that he may lift you up in due time. And so humility is also a characteristic, a quality of Jesus that we, should all be striving to grow in and to imitate Jesus in. And so let's just say you're trying to imitate Jesus in humility. Maybe boasting has been a problem for you. Arrogance has been a problem for you. Having your eyes more set on what men think about you instead of what God thinks about you, perhaps. If that's the case, secrecy might be a good discipline to practice in order to help you to grow in humility. So what is this spiritual discipline of secrecy? It is doing righteous deeds in private, not letting your left hand know what your right hand is doing. It's even denying ourselves attention that we might want or that we might crave. In Matthew chapter 6, Jesus says, be careful not to practice your righteousness in front of others to be seen by them. If you do, you will have no reward from your Father in heaven. So when you give to the needy, do not announce it with trumpets, as the hypocrites do in the synagogues and on the streets, to be honored by others. Truly, I tell you, they have received their reward in full. But when you give to the needy, do not let your left hand know what your right hand is doing, so that your giving may be in secret. Then your Father, who sees what is done in secret, will reward you. And so how can the spiritual discipline of secrecy be practiced? Well, it can be as easy as not telling people about all of the righteous things that you've done that day. This is what I read in the Bible this morning, or this is how long I prayed today, or this is who I helped when I saw this person in need. Maybe it's as simple as not telling anybody about those things that you're doing. Maybe you have great ideas, great solutions to different things that are going on in the church, or things maybe even on your job. Maybe it's as easy as keeping those ideas to yourself and not telling anybody about them. Maybe it's doing something good that you will get no recognition for, that no one will ever know anything about, like going to some random street in the middle of nowhere and picking up trash on the street and not telling anybody about it and no one knowing that you're doing it, right? Or maybe it's paying for somebody's meal in a drive-thru, buying a gift card and giving it away anonymously. Maybe it's taking a break from posting on social media. Sometimes our posts can be boasts, right, on social media. Or maybe it's simply celebrating others' achievements without bringing up our own achievements at the same time. These are all just, great examples or ways that we can practice the discipline of secrecy in our lives to help us to grow in humility. Now, be careful. It is not wrong in and of itself to make a post on social media. It's not wrong to share a good idea, in particular if it solves somebody else's problem. And for sure, it's not wrong to tell somebody that you did something good today. There's nothing wrong with those things at all. But only you know why you're doing those things and whether or not communicating it to the world is feeding your ego and feeding your pride. Only you know that. If that is the case, and if these things are puffing you up, then try the discipline of secrecy and see if these different examples don't serve to humble your soul. See if it doesn't serve to take your eyes off of self and to put your eyes upon God, that audience of one. And see if you don't grow in humility and watch God lift you up in due time.